各位记者朋友
Good afternoon. Welcome to today's press conference. First, an announcement. At the invitation of Denmark's Foreign Minister Rasmussen, Sweden's Foreign Minister Stannergaard, Finland's Foreign Minister Valtonen, and Norway's Foreign Minister Ad, member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi will visit the four countries from July the 2nd to the 8th. Now the floor is open.
谢谢发言人。
Xinhua News Agency, to follow up on your announcement, how does China view its relations with Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Norway? What do you expect to achieve through Foreign Minister Wang Yi's visit? Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Norway are among the first European countries to recognize and establish diplomatic relations with New China, and we have a profound history of friendly ties. Recent years have seen steady and robust developments of relations between China and the four countries, with fruitful cooperation in green transition, trade and investment, and science-tech innovation, and broad-based consensus on upholding multilateralism and free trade, and joint response to climate change. During the visit, Foreign Minister Wang Yi will hold talks with his counterparts in the four countries to have in-depth exchanges of views on bilateral relations and international and regional issues of mutual interest. Denmark is China's comprehensive strategic partner in Northern Europe. This will be the first visit by a Chinese foreign minister to Denmark in 15 years, and the first high-level face-to-face meeting after the new Danish government took office. China hopes to consolidate mutual trust, expand cooperation, and deepen friendship with Denmark through the visit to open up new prospects for the China-Denmark Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Sweden is China's largest trading partner in Northern Europe. The upcoming visit will be the first by a Chinese foreign minister to Sweden in 22 years. Through the visit, China looks to enhancing communication, deepening mutual trust, and expanding cooperation with Sweden to consolidate the sound momentum of growth in bilateral relations. China and Finland are future-oriented new-type cooperative partners. Recent years have seen successive visits to China by Finnish President, Speaker of Finnish Parliament, and Prime Minister. The two sides have had close high-level exchanges and fruitful practical cooperation in various fields. China hopes that the visit will enable the two sides to better deliver on the important common understandings between the leaders and provide fresh impetus for the development of the China-Finland partnership. Norway is one of the first countries to recognize China's market economy status. Prime Minister visited China in 2024 as the two countries marks the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations, which give a strong boost to the development of bilateral ties. Through the visit, China will work with Norway to deliver on the important common understandings between the leaders, have in-depth exchanges of views on green transition and other bilateral and multilateral issues, and promote continued steady and sound development of China-Norway relations. Next one, please.
Good afternoon. Question from AFP. EU Trade Commissioner Maru Sefcovic held talks with Chinese Commerce Minister Wang Wentao on Monday. The two sides vowed to tackle their trade frictions through dialogue, despite the EU warning that the status quo was not an option. What is the Foreign Ministry's comment on this? Thank you.
For anything specific about the meeting, I'd refer you to competent authority of China. Let me stress that China and Europe are partners, not rivals. The root cause of the problems, the nature of China-EU trade relations is mutual benefit, and the root cause of the problems faced by the EU does not lie in China, and the key lies in deepening China-EU relations and cooperation and pursue common development. China stands ready to step up communication and coordination, uphold equality and respect, handle differences in trade in a constructive manner, and uphold stability in global industrial and supply chains. Next one, please.
总台 CGTN 提问，近期第7
CGTN, recently the 7th Local Leaders Meeting, the 2026 Young Political Leaders Forum, and the 4th Spokesperson Dialogue were held under the China-CEC framework in China. Could you share more on the cooperation between China and Central and Eastern European countries? The China-CEC cooperation is a trans-regional platform jointly initiated by both sides over the past 14 years. Despite international changes, we have upheld equality, mutual benefit, openness, and inclusiveness. Today, the mechanism is a mature mechanism with deepened cooperation and tangible outcomes. The mechanism serves as an accelerator for bilateral ties between China and CEE countries, a propeller for high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, and a stellar example of building a community with a shared future in Europe. Last month, the 7th China-CEC Local Leaders Meeting and the 2026 Shandong International Friendship Cities Exchange Week was successfully held in Jinan. Early this month, political parties, parliaments, think tanks, and youth associations from CEC countries sent delegates to the Young Political Leaders Forum that took place in Wuhan. And yesterday, the 4th China-CEC Spokespersons Dialogue was hosted by the State Council Information Office in Beijing. These events focus on friendly exchanges, chart future cooperation, and inject fresh impetus into our cooperation. China sees its ties with CEE countries from a strategic and long-term perspective. We stand ready to work with all member states to stay true to our original aspiration, consolidate this mechanism, renew traditional friendship in the new era, and provide stability and impetus to China-Europe relations. Next one, please. China Daily. This year is the China-Africa Year of People-to-People Exchanges. Both sides have held warmly welcomed events and attracted active participation in the first 6 months. Could you share the latest updates and plans for the second half of the year? 2026 marks the China-Africa Year of People-to-People Exchanges. The designation is a key consensus between President Xi Jinping and African leaders that aims to deepen friendship, foster people-to-people bonds, and pull greater strengths. In January, President Xi sent a congratulatory letter to the launching ceremony, providing clear guidance for the cooperation and events of the year. Warmly welcomed by people in various sectors, so far nearly 500 events have been held, with 3 main features. First, numerous highlights. Key events were held to mark major milestones, including zero-tariff treatment for 53 African countries starting May the 1st, the 70th anniversary of China-Africa diplomatic relations, and the full reopening of the Tanzania Railway. The events poured greater strength for the common modernization drive of the Chinese and African sides. Second, broad coverage. The events span insight sharing, cultural exchanges, practical cooperation, youth engagement, and green development, greatly enriching the people-to-people ties between China and Africa. Third, extensive participation. All 53 African countries with diplomatic ties with China and the African Union are involved with active participation of the people. The events bring the warmth of our friendship to every household and write a beautiful chapter of mutual understanding between the Chinese and African people. More events of the second half of the year are to be held. We stand ready to work with Africa to advance these events in an orderly way, deepen exchanges in multilateral in different sectors, and inject new impetus into building in an all-weather China-Africa community with a shared future. Next one, please.
Hi, another question from AFP. U.S. media reported that exiled Chinese entrepreneur Guo Wenhui, convicted of defrauding thousands of people of more than $1 billion, was sentenced Monday to 30 years in prison by a federal court in New York. Guo fled China to the U.S. in 2015 and has portrayed himself as a fierce critic of the Chinese Communist Party. Does the Foreign Ministry have a comment on this? Thank you.
Guo Wengui is a fugitive wanted by Interpol Red Notice at the request of the Chinese government. We noted relevant reports. Next one, please.
Thanks a lot. German media ARD. My question is, the aircraft crash into CITIC Tower in Beijing last Friday has brought a lot of international attention, and there are a lot of questions. So could you kindly give us some more information on this? Thank you.
Relevant department of the Beijing city has released a notice. I have nothing else to share. Next one, please.
Hi, a question from Bloomberg. There have been reports that the Indian embassy in Beijing recently met with Xinhua officials to discuss the return of Chinese journalists to India following an absence of accredited Chinese media since 2023. Can the Foreign Ministry confirm these talks and provide an update on the progress? Thank you.
I'm not familiar with the specifics that you mentioned. China always is committed to promoting cooperation with India in various sectors based on equality and cooperation, including our cooperation in media sector. Next one, please. Anything else? Then let's call it a day. Thank you for coming.